Hey, so this is going to be a tutorial on how I make my replicas slash fan-made cards because I get asked every so often and it's actually really easy, but there are like a few kind of weird bits that make it slightly difficult. So this is the website I use. It's called Moo. Basically they make business cards, but it works out really well for photo cards. So you want to go on business cards and then original business cards. And then once you're on there, you want to choose the size as Moo, and the finish, you can choose either matte or glossy. I usually go for glossy. I generally go for square corners just because rounded costs 5p more per photo card. And then I pick 50. Now you can have 50 different images per batch. So if you're doing, for example, uneven amounts of claims, what you really need to do is do each batch individually so that you can have the exact right number of photo cards for your claims, because if you choose 100 you'll still only be able to put 50 different things and they will give you like even numbers of them, which might not add up. Next, you're going to want to go on upload a full design. So this does require you to do a little bit of editing to know the pictures you want and to know what you want on the back. I always edit my backs myself, either from a template and modify it, or most of the time I make them from scratch. This one is really simple because it's going to be for two different themes of photo cards. So what you want to do is the front. Now it says it's the front, but what we treat this as is the back because it's the same on all of the cards. So what we obviously want to be the same is the back of the card. So you upload it, so you will go here and it will say upload a photo or design. So I go and I find my back that I just made, and so I upload that. And so this will be the same on all of the photo cards. Now you can see there's this safe area. This is important if there's something on the photo card that you particularly want to be there, or if like on the back you want a design, you have to make sure it stays in this. A good way that you can do that is you can download a template from Moo, which you can put into like Photoshop, and it shows you where the guidelines are. So then you go to upload backs, and so these are our fronts. So what we want to do is we want to put it in portrait again. Then we go and upload our backs. So then we find our photos that we are uploading. So I am doing a batch of Stacy photo cards. So I will highlight all of the ones that I am doing. Once I have them loaded in, I like to add them in order of age. So like it's just so that when I am looking at claims and I'm going through my spreadsheet, I can just see super easily. I'm like, okay, I need 5 zoom-ins, I need 6 see-ins, and having them in order just makes that really easy for me. So once you have them uploaded, as you can see, because these photos are a bit bigger than the thing, you can choose kind of how you want it. So if I want her to be a little bit more centered, then I can do that, and you can just make them look however you want them to make them look. So for this one, I'm just going to move her over a little bit so you can see a little bit more of her pumpkin. You can also zoom them in a little bit, so I've just zoomed in seeing a little bit just to kind of make it kind of cohesive with the other ones, as their photos that they uploaded were slightly closer up. I'm just moving Suman over a little bit because she was quite off center in her photo. See, this is what you get. If you move it so there is a bit where they might print, then you'll get that little arrow, and that shows you that there's a chance that the print will print that on the card. So you want to make sure that you've got photo in all of these, otherwise you might end up with a line. So then once you have this, basically what I would then do is I would duplicate these photo cards depending on how many claims I had of each one. So if I had 2 claims of this one, I would duplicate this like this. And then say I have 3 claims of this CN, then I duplicate it twice, and so on. So you can just duplicate them as many times as you need. each one. You might need 6 of one and only 2 of another, which you can really easily do by just duplicating them. And then what you do is you go to review and purchase. Now at the moment it will say you get 4 of this design. That's because I haven't put 50 different backs, and basically what they do is they just multiply them. But once you do duplicate them enough to make it that you have 50, it'll just say you have 1 of each design. And then you can go through and check that you've got the right amount of each for the number of claims that you have. And then what you can do is you add to cart, of course. If you need to do another batch of similar ones, what I do, so I'll rename it as Stacy Batch 1. And what you can do if you want another batch of, say, a similar set, but not exactly. So if you had 100 claims and in your first batch you had 5 claims of a suman, and then in the second batch you had 6 claims, what you can do is you don't have to order the same one. So you can say duplicate the pack for a colleague. You can then say turn it into Stacy Batch 2, and you will have a duplicated batch. And see, now you can say, okay, this time I need more sumans. So you can duplicate, you know, however many you need. Say, okay, for this one I'm gonna need 3 of this or whatever. And so that way you can see, and then it will make you go through this again. You just want original, the same things, 50 cards. They just make you check it again, and then again you can review it to check that you have the right amount, and then add to cart. So these will just stay in your cart until you do something with them. Now if you realize, oh my god, I did something wrong, this has like 1 too many of a card, you don't have to delete it and start again. What you can do is you go to account, you go to saved projects, and any projects that you have not finished or have not ordered, which counts as finishing, you can go into finish, and basically you get it up again. You can change, you think, oh, I had 1 too many sumans, so you delete that, and then it's again, you can just do quantity and paper again. It will just make you go through that, and then you can just do add to cart. Make sure you do have to get rid of the one that you decided was wrong. So as you can see, for some reason the name of the batch just doesn't show up, but this was batch 1, and so you'd get rid of your original batch 1 by just doing that, and then you've got the one that you remade. So finally, you choose the shipping, and so there are quite a few options for shipping. I just always get the economy because it honestly doesn't take that long and it's pretty cheap. Now, if you have honey, I recommend it. They sometimes manage to find coupons, so it's definitely worth checking to see if you have any coupons that you can use. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Yeah, so like I said, it thought there was some, but it didn't manage to. So then, as you can see, the total amount for these 100 cards is £32.18, and yeah, that's how you do it.